It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update as WWE make a shocking release from the company. The AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament final is set for AEW Full Gear, and a popular wrestler has received heat over a Brodie Lee related tweet. All that and more coming up in today's video, but first... It's been revealed this week that 2 MLW wrestlers have been released from the company and are now free agents after their contracts came to an end. First off, former UFC fighter and former MLW World Champion Tom Lawler confirmed his departure from the company on Twitter and said, "As of today, I am a free agent in the world of professional wrestling. Thank you to MLW, Court Bauer, MSL, beIN Sports USA for the time and effort they put in with me. But mostly I'd like to thank the MLW staff, wrestlers past and present, and fans for the 4 years of memories." Lawler has also been working with New Japan Pro-Wrestling and is the current New Japan Strong Openweight Champion, although his status with the promotion is still unknown. According to the Wrestling Observer, he is not currently under contract with the Japanese promotion. A second MLW wrestler has also confirmed their free agency on Twitter, with former Injustice member Jordan Oliver taking to Twitter to say, "A week ago, MLW released me. I did exactly what I wanted to do there, and that is learn and grow. I'm only 22 years old, and I'm one of the hardest working MFers in the game. Get at me, I'm ready to turn up times 10. The world is yours." Still only 22 years old, Oliver now has 5 years of experience under his belt, having also worked for both GCW and CZW in the past. Both Oliver and Lawler's futures are still unknown, although they will no doubt have interest from multiple companies in the coming weeks. And next we have some news coming out of WWE regarding Vince McMahon's feelings towards the recently released Bray Wyatt, with Chairman Vince McMahon said to be far from keen on the Eater of Worlds. According to a report from Fightful, Wyatt was said to be outspoken about how bad the creative was, and due to this, by the end of his run, Vince no longer liked him. Both Wyatt and Randy Orton, amongst others involved in the WrestleMania 38 match between the two, were not happy with the creative direction or outcome, which changed 2 days before the show. Initially after the match, it was Randy Orton who was supposed to take time off, but it was Wyatt who took a break instead, which could suggest that Wyatt was originally going to win. There was also said to be some frustration regarding the burnt fiend angle, which saw Wyatt set on fire in the middle of the ring by Randy Orton, only to return as a scorched version of the character, with concerns surrounding specifically the size, weight, and movement of the suit. This was then scrapped during his WrestleMania entrance, with Wyatt instead morphing into a non-burnt version of the Fiend. The outcome of the match between Orton and Wyatt, which ended up being his last for the company, changed 2 days before the show, and Fightful were also told that there was never a true creative endgame for that story that went on for 6 months. The feeling within the company from both talent and staff is that the reason given to them over Wyatt's release, which was that it was a budget cut, is believed to not be true due to the merchandise sales that he would generate, with him likely drawing a profit for the company. This week, AEW President Tony Khan would appear on Wrestling Observer Radio, where he discussed a number of topics, including the end of the deal between All Elite Wrestling and Impact Wrestling. According to reports, the relationship between the two companies has came to an end, with Christian Cage dropping the Impact World title at Slammiversary seen as the final chapter. Khan would reveal that there are no plans for the companies to continue working together, at least for now, and he said, "I like those guys a lot, and we've done a lot of great stuff. We don't have anything booked right now, and that's different than how it had been for the last year or so, because for most of 2021, we had stuff on paper planned. We don't have anything locked in now, but there's no reason we couldn't come up with something. Don Callis and I talk pretty regularly, and I've enjoyed going to Nashville and working with those guys. My post-production office is literally upstairs from where they tape." It seems that the forbidden door between Impact and AEW remains unlocked, but for now, it will remain closed with no immediate plans for the two companies to cross over, which confirms the prior reports. Next up, we have a report from Fightful regarding the expiration of a New Japan Pro-Wrestling contract, with a member of their roster set to potentially become a free agent. According to the report, the contract of former IWGP United States champion Juice Robinson is set to expire at the end of January 2022, and he is expected to receive offers from multiple companies. As of late, Robinson has been a regular on the New Japan Strong shows, which is the United States branch of the promotion, and after joining New Japan as a young lion in 2015, he is said to have signed a 3-year full-time deal in early 2019, and has also worked for Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling due to their ongoing working relationships. He has 2 IWGP United States Heavyweight Championships to his name, as well as an IWGP Tag Team Championship and a World Tag League, with him no doubt being a more evolved form of the man that was released from WWE many years ago, and he will no doubt receive interest from across the world, including his native United States. And quickly, just before we continue, make sure you drop a like on the video as it helps me out a lot, and make sure you subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any upcoming wrestling content as we head, hopefully, towards 100,000 subscribers. But now, let's press play on the video. This week, WWE is said to be making a number of releases behind the scenes, and one has already been confirmed that has shocked many within the company, leaving many to feel that no one is safe from being let go. Longtime WWE Senior Vice President of Creative Services Stan Stansky is said to have been released on Wednesday, who had been with the company since 2006. He would join WWE as the Vice President of Creative Services and would be promoted to a senior role in 2012. Stansky's role saw him responsible for the overall creative look and feel of WWE, including graphics and branding, photography and marketing, and much more. His 15-year career in the promotion has now came to an end, with the report stating that sources within the company feel that this is, quote, yet another reminder this isn't the same company it was a year ago. PW Insider also state that more departures will be confirmed soon, with Stansky being the most high profile of the bunch. Last night, AEW held Dynamite from the Kansas City Arena, where the final of the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament was confirmed. Following the news that Jon Moxley had admitted himself to alcohol rehabilitation, it was revealed that he would be replaced in the semi-finals of the tournament, with Orange Cassidy instead receiving a new opponent. Cassidy would instead take on AEW TNT champion Miro to decide who would take on Bryan Danielson at the Full Gear pay-per-view, with the winner of that becoming the new #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. In the end, the Bulgarian would come out on top as he put Freshly Squeezed away with the game over submission, with Miro one step closer to his second ever title win in AEW. This means he will now battle Bryan Danielson in just less than 2 weeks' time, with the winner challenging Kenny Omega or Hangman Page for the AEW World title, depending on who comes out on top in the AEW Full Gear main event. Last night, former WWE superstar Kalisto would make his AEW debut in a match for the AAA Tag Team Championships. Going by the name of Samurai Del Sol, he would team up with popular AAA luchador Aerostar to challenge FTR for their titles, but eventually came up short. After the show went off the air, Del Sol would take to Twitter to pay tribute to the late Brodie Lee, and he would say, "Prayed and talked to Jon, Brodie Lee, before my match. Thank you for showing me your home, AEW, and giving me the strength and energy. I need it today. Forever you're in my heart, Hermano." This tweet would draw the attention of AEW wrestler Chris Jericho, who pointed out that Del Sol had spelt Brodie's real first name wrong, spelling Jon with a H, which is the incorrect spelling. Jericho would reply to the tweet by simply saying, "You spelt his name wrong." Brodie's wife Amanda would then step in at the defense of Le Champion, replying to a fan who questioned Jericho and called his reply really odd. Amanda would respond to the fan and say, "Why is that? I feel like it's reasonable to expect a level of respect of spelling someone's name right if you want to name drop them." Many fans would point out that Del Sol isn't the first person to misspell a name associated with Brodie, with screenshots of AEW star Miro misspelling the name Brodie, with Amanda going on to point out the difference, and perhaps expressing the true reason for her reaction with her saying, 1. Brodie was a stage name, not his real name. 2. Miro spoke to me almost daily when Jon was sick. 3. Miro cried with me after he passed. And 4. Miro continuously checked on me and my kids. This tweet seems to suggest that Samurai Del Sol did not do any of these things. I do get the feeling that there is more to this story than appears on the surface, with some fans pointing out that the former Kalisto is simply using Brodie's name to get over with his new audience, although it's hard to say whether this is fair or not. There is also the possibility that Del Sol stating that he spoke to Brodie caused upset, which seems understandable as it's unlikely that happens, although people do have different beliefs, I guess. Either way, I get the feeling that this may be the last time we see Samurai Del Sol in an AEW ring. That's if the heat has spread throughout AEW towards him, but I guess only time will tell. But let me know what you think of the situation in the comments down below. And before you go, why not check out my video where I discuss 10 wrestlers that would be perfect members of the Elite.